Hello. My gosh, I'm seeing people joining. Hi, Bailee. My name is Lindsey Calhoun Bring, and I'm the co-creator of Pretty Little Liars Original Sin with the wonderful Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa. And I'm so excited to get to do this live today with two of my favorite actors and scream queens, Bailee Madison and Chandler Kinney. So very excited to speak with them and catch up and chat and see their faces and talk all things horror through the female gaze. So now I just need to admit Bailee and admit Chandler. Let's see if I can do it. How do I get to you guys? This is my worst fear. Wait, I love the question. Someone just asked me if I may, sometimes. Request to join. Okay, great. Bailee. And then let me find Chandler accepting request to join.
Are we all?
There she is.
Hi.
Hi, did we do it? Wait, I'm shockingly close.
Okay, I think we did it.
I did it with much help from our team. How's it going?
It's not great. It's okay.
I know.
It's like going in and out a little bit.
Is that better? No.
I think
the answer is no. Yeah.
Wait, it might be better.
Hello?
Wait, we can't hear Bailee. Let's try to get you closer and
wait, let me just do this. Hold on. I'm at
this
my
is
brother's
the fun.
house. Hold on. Let me see.
While Bailee's getting set up, Chandler, where are you?
Sean, where's the best place to serve it?
Nowhere interesting. I'm home. I'm trying to like block things, but like, this works. This is great.
Right,
I think this is the best I can do.
Are you?
Is my audio okay though?
Hold on.
Yes. And we're hearing from everyone that we can hear you now. So we can hear. I can hear Chandler. I can hear Bailee. Is everyone?
Yeah. Mom says hello.
Wait, Bailee, we had you. We should have put out a message that's like, give us 5.
Yeah.
Wait, I think we're okay.
We're good, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, great.
Yay!
I'm so excited to see your faces and to talk all things our show and horror through the female gaze. And kind of just excited to jump in. I'm reminded of one of my favorite bonding moments for me and Roberto with the cast early on. I don't know if you remember, but while we were shooting the pilot, we took you all to go see Candyman, the new Candyman.
Yes!
Which of course we loved, but also I loved celebrating a female director, Nia DaCosta, a female horror director. So that was kind of a really fun way to sort of start us off strong with horror through the female gaze, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I remember that so well. And it was really, really lovely of you guys. I always say this. I will always sing your praises. From the very, very beginning, you both were so warm and welcoming, and you made us feel safe stepping into this space and taking on these characters. And that was like an example of your hospitality and generosity with your time and your energy. And it was just like, it just really established the family dynamic, even by just, doing a dinner and a movie. That was so nice. So thank you for that.
And of course, that's so nice. Wait, Bailee, now you compliment me.
Bailee, you go.
Saying that my Wi-Fi is holding on for dear life. Is it, or is it okay?
It's good. I think we're good. We're good.
Everyone's like, Bailee is rough. No, I love that moment too. And plus, obviously, we filmed the show in the middle of COVID too. So that moment that we were able to like all connect and have a moment to actually celebrate what it was that we were about to create and dive into it together as a team. Oh, it was so fun.
It was so fun. I was just thinking about that. Guys, how are you feeling? We've got 7 of 10 episodes out. How are you feeling?
It's crazy. It's so crazy. I've just been feeling like so grateful with the warm reception that we've had. People are really, really getting emotionally invested in the characters and the stories that we're telling. And I think a lot of that is to be is credited to, I think, exactly what we're here to talk about today, which is our perspective, you know, and centering the woman in the story. And I think that's something that we do so well, obviously on screen, but also behind the screen, because that's what meaningful representation is all about. You know, it starts, you know, with the people that are building the bones of the story. And so I think that's why people are able to identify with these characters and really having such an awesome time watching the show, it seems, which is awesome.
I love that. No, I feel the same. I feel like I think we have many of course Pretty Little Liars fans. We are super fans of the original show as well, so it's so nice to be able to take over this Insta. And many horror fans, I think, have found us, but I think we may be a gateway drug to the genre of horror too, and especially for young women, which I love. And I think, you know, being a female horror fan myself, it felt, as much as I love so many horror movies, sometimes those movies don't feel like they're for us. You know, many women are victimized. There are many tropes. You know, the moment a woman is making out with someone, we know she's dead. That's how this movie works. You know. So it's really nice to, as you said, Chandler, to sort of be creating these stories and with so many women in front of and behind the camera, and get to be able to tell these from our POV and make sure that our girls are final girls and get such a win.
Yeah, it's been really fun too. I think all of us collectively, we love the creative aspect of filming and being a part of a show, but it's the behind the scenes that for me, and I think all of us, it's why we love what we do. It's like getting to create the family off camera. It's getting to just to go through that challenge and that experience together. And for me, I've always hoped that when something would come out, people would be like equally as invested to the show as they are with the people behind the camera and with the process of creating something. And like week after week, it's been so fun to see people just like get so excited for the behind the scenes, excited for the in-depth conversations. It's to be a part of something beyond just a show for an hour, but to have like an entire experience within that show. It's like, oh, it's been an amazing thing to witness, and like so fun that people are down to fully go on the journey with us.
I agree. It's so fun now watching you know, watching the show as a fan and getting to step back from it and sort of watch it and rewatch it and love it. And there are moments that I have questions. So there are moments now that are so fun, especially now that the first 7 episodes are out. And we have our 3 episodes of the season finale coming this Thursday, which of course I'll plug again at the end. But and I'll try to avoid any spoilers, though I'm so excited about so many amazing final girl moments coming up. Amazing. But gosh, in episode 7 recently, I found myself scared when A was running through the mirror maze. I thought that was such a scary, amazing moment, and that was one of the episodes I wasn't on set for, so it was like such a delight. I'm seeing everyone's comments. We love you. We're excited. Was there a moment on set that either of you felt scared filming, or now sort of being on the other side watching the episodes? Is there something that makes you want to pull the covers up while you're watching?
Yeah, I mean, I would say as a viewer, I get scared because
Totally.
Which is so fun. Like, I think all of us also, because we were all, you know, some days it was like a Noah day, some days it was a Tabby day. So much that we didn't get to see. So to sit down and watch these beats and these moments come to life, actually, I mean, I tweeted the other night, I'm like, I'm such a fan of our show. I really, truly am. I get scared all the time. I mean, there is definitely a scene in the finale where like I was so thrilled to be filming it, but whenever we yelled action, like my brain couldn't not go to that. So that was the both of you.
I love it. That was
clap.
I love that you guys do that now. It's such a thing that I do when I get excited and don't realize it.
I love it. Bailee and I were just on FaceTime. What was that, like yesterday? And we both did the Lindsey clap.
I'm so excited. We got the scene. Let's move on.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything with A is pretty scary. Even as a viewer, like I was there. I like know these people, you know, I read the scripts. I know exactly what's going to happen. Yet watching it play out, you know, I think Maya's chase sequence, jumping from the building, and she did such an incredible job. You know, not only just like emotionally in that space, but like physically, she was doing her stunts. I think Malia's chase sequence in the mirror maze was amazing. Zaria and Mallory in the, you know, everyone just did such an incredible job with these encounters with A. Yes.
You know, got me though, and this is like a part of the conversation that we're having today. When episode 6 opens and we get to kind of go back and have a look inside of Tabby's head and her trauma for the first time. Obviously like the A element is so scary, and like the scares are there, and the way that it's done is so special and so intricate. But I mean, I'm visiting my mom in Florida right now and my family, and we watched 6 and 7 together, and the next morning I saw her, she's like, I did not sleep well. And I was like, we watched the episodes before bed, but what was so cool to me is it wasn't just, yes, it's scary because it's a crazy masked person. She was like, it's just the internal fear and the pain that you guys go through, and I have yet to see a show that wanted to tackle both. And it's like, I know that was a conversation that was so of utmost importance for all of us, but to get to sit back and watch it and know what was written, but then see this trauma play out, see these conversations happen, have a moment where I'm like, someone somewhere is watching this and is most likely feeling really represented right now. And seeing that response, it's like that internal horror, those conversations that we had every episode, it gets me every time. And I think grounds it and sets us up for ready for this set up for so many places we can go, you know?
Yes, I agree. And I'm so happy you brought that up, because I think that is what is so special about Original Sin, and what really sets us apart of what I think a lot of shows do nowadays, and especially in the horror genre. You know, we do have that external horror factor of, you know, this masked anonymous assailant torturing and tormenting these girls and literally killing their friends and the people around them, and that is so scary. I know, literally, you know, a murderous man, you know, a masked person on the run. It's scary. But, you know, also our show balances it with this internal horror of the human heart, and the way that it can be challenged, and the way that it can ultimately break. And I think it's been such a fulfilling journey for me, not only as a person, but also as an artist, to go to those places, especially, you know, with you, Bailee. We Tabby and Imogen have their own traumas that they're dealing with, and up through episode 5 it's an isolated journey, and then, you know, at the end of 5 and beginning of 6 it becomes a collective shared experience and mission, and that was just such a beautiful story to tell with you. And oftentimes, you know, I think about those chase sequences, and they were absolutely scary in their own right, but I think some of the scariest and haunting moments was going through those experiences and having those conversations that people have to have every day, you know. And I think that's what really resonates with viewers and draws them into the story, and what keeps you up at night, you know, at the end of the day.
For sure. No, that's so beautifully said, both of you. And you know, Roberto and I actually saw each other yesterday. Speaking of episode 6, we took a road trip together because we went to see.
Did you see Ironic?
We sang ironic. We have to ask you about ironic too. We sang ironic, of course. No, we did. I say this. We definitely listened to the PLL Original Sin playlist on Spotify. It's like there's no question.
Good.
That's what we're listening to. Adore Delano on repeat. That was amazing. But we were actually going to see Zakiya, who is one of our brilliant actresses who plays Corey on our show. She wrote this one-woman show, which was brilliant and amazing, and it was so nice to see her. Corey has made some questionable choices. Zakiya, however, is a perfect person.
Zakiya can do no wrong.
Can do no wrong. But you know, we actually talked a lot on the car ride about story, about ideas, and about trauma, and about how that was a theme of the show, and quite a heavy theme. But like you were saying, Chandler, a real grounded horror, and that was an important story for us to tell. And some of the stories we're telling are tough, and we really hope they can be conversation starters. And sometimes I think language, it's hard for young people, and really all people, I think, to have the right language, if there is a right language for assault. But there's something to being able to point to a character and a story and a show and say, I understand this, I know this. And so I think that what you two have done, and the sisterhood that you have behind the camera and in front of the camera, is just so meaningful and beautiful. And I love watching you, and I just have felt so moved watching the episodes, and I think you're just.
We love you, Lindsey.
We love you. We love each other. I think that's like evident in any time we're all together.
I know. It's just like, well, hey, I love you more.
Bailee and we've spent so much time together that we have the same mannerisms. We do like the same little thing. Like we were just watching each other while you were speaking about our love for each other, which was just ironic. Isn't it ironic?
Isn't that ironic? Wait, I have a question about that. This is a question from my husband John, who you both met, who love you so much. When we did that scene of you guys in the car driving, we were like, oh, we should write in a song. Alanis said, ironic, that's iconic. John was like, did Bailee and Chandler know that song? And I was like, everybody knows that song. And he was like, did they have to learn the lyrics? I want to know. Did you know ironic?
I
no
say that we knew it, because if so, you just say that and I'll nod my head.
Well, listen. We knew the chorus.
Yes.
But I think everybody knows the chorus. It was like the lead up, the bridge, the verses. If you actually read the lyrics, there is some like questionable verses in there.
We talked about that. Very questionable.
That's true. That's true.
But talk about this very like PLL full circle moment. There was a video which I remember years ago seeing when it came out, because I followed all the girls and like would be a part of all the Twitter live chats, which is so cool that we get to do it. But there's a video of Shay and Ashley singing ironic on the set of PLL, and everyone was like, this is so full circle.
What?
So ironic.
Don't you think?
Don't you think?
I have to end the live so I can watch that video right this second. That's I love that. That's so in the DNA. I love that.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I love it. Wait, Chandler, you had mentioned the rooftop chase with Maya, which I think is so apt for this conversation, because that's from episode 4, titled "The Female Gaze." Which was an amazing episode written by two of our wonderful writers, Janina and Eleanor. And I love that chase scene, but I also love Tabby's story in that episode, and recreating Psycho and changing the dynamic. And did you love doing that? Was that fun? Do you love like holding? That's a leading question. Did you love that? Was that your favorite?
I love doing
moment?
that. Yes, I did. I did. I'm so great.
It was great, right?
Stop, you're gonna make me giggle. I was so
like the writing for that episode was fun. Did you love it?
Did you love it?
Love it?
Was that incredible? Was that an incredible experience? Okay, great. Bailee, next question. But
Lindsey,
a better way to ask this.
Transformative experience in my entire career. That episode specifically.
Whoa.
Perfect. Wait, not since zombies. Wait, I want to point out I am loving everyone. We were talking about ironic, and I'm seeing the comments. We were like, Chandler, your voice. Bailee and Chandler both have beautiful voices. Everyone has literally every behind the scenes. Everyone should know there's a lot of singing and a lot of joy, and it makes me so happy. But yes, you both have beautiful voices. I love hearing you sing whenever and whenever. So a better question was, what was that experience like? What was that like of sort of changing that dynamic and playing a director?
Totally. Thank you. That was so sweet, by the way. I love y'all. Anyway, I did love filming that episode. I think it's obviously like right on the money for who Tabby is and what she stands for and what she represents, and at large what the show represents. Obviously, you know, Tabby takes on the iconic shower scene from Psycho, and she totally subverts the male gaze through that by switching the power dynamics and the gender roles. So Marion Crane now becomes the murderer in the scene, and Norman Bates is the vulnerable victim. And I think that was such a powerful project for her to take on, because it truly is, it's kind of meta if you think about it, because in this project, like, that's representative of what Original Sin is doing. Yeah. You know, it's giving these young women their agency and their autonomy and their power, and that's what I think this entire season and the entire show is all about, which is so cool, and I'm so honored to be a part of it, because I think the impact of that is so substantial and so important. I know growing up for me, like, I was always looking for strong young women who were centered in their own stories. They weren't just, you know, diminished down to a personality trait or you know, the token, you know, for me, like the token Black girl, you know, in the cast,
totally,
who literally just provided comedic relief, or, you know, these girls in the story, they all, you know, we meet them, they all are going through their own stories and their own traumas. And I think the arc for all of them is reclaiming their power and their story. And I think that's what, you know, Original Sin is all about. And that is what subverting the male gaze is all about. And in talking about that, I think not only does our show tackle that in front of the camera, but it also tackles it behind the camera. You know, when you're talking about the male gaze, there are three primary perspectives. It's the male behind the camera, the male in the scene, and the male consuming the content, you know, viewing the show. And we had incredible women behind the camera.
Yes.
We had a woman DP who crafted these beautiful shots. And also, I have to say, I haven't worked with so many directors, specifically women directors, who are so involved in the cinematography as well. You know, I think we have to give our props to Lisa Soper.
Yes, Lisa Soper.
We love Lindsey. Clap for Lisa Soper.
All day.
You know, she directed a handful of our episodes, and she made sure that, you know, each shot was giving these women agency. And I think that's so cool that you can do that just in the visual language of a show, you know, in front of the camera. I don't think a male speaks in the first 20 minutes of the pilot. I think that's so cool.
You know, that's good.
It's like, you know, behind the camera, in front of the camera, like all around, our show is practicing what it preaches, and that is giving these women their power, which I long story short, I'm very proud to be a part of.
I'm so proud you are. I'm proud of all of our cast and our directors, and yes, so much love to our female directors, and it's just been amazing. Wait, I want to ask you guys one question, and then maybe we should take some questions from people who are watching with us. That'd be fun. Bailee, I know you were a scream queen in your own right prior to the show. I'm not going to pretend I didn't go to see Strangers Pray at Night and love it. I'm not going to pretend I don't watch my Guillermo del Toro movies. So, you know, were you busy making horror movies, or were you watching them? What was your was your introduction to horror being on a horror set, or do you have any favorite horror films?
My introduction to horror, I think in its true sense, was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. It was because I was only I think I had just turned 9 when I was doing that movie. So
Oh,
like
no.
I was a baby. I couldn't even go baby. But Guillermo, you know, at the time I obviously realized just how incredible he was and the set that I was on. But I think now as I've gotten older, there is so much that Guillermo had taught me back then for scenes that I still carry with me now. That were so intricate, not just on like this is a horror beat, but someone that actually did want to talk about the internal horror, someone that did want to like get your mind to match whatever your face was doing, and so that was something that I took with me for a while. But I used to watch like The Shining. The Shining was a big one for me growing up.
Yeah.
I loved The Shining, and then there was this really messed up movie called like Hide and Seek with Dakota Fanning, and
I'm familiar.
yeah,
Robert De Niro.
I loved that movie. I was like, this is so disturbing. But yeah, and then Strangers for me was like full blown, like, okay, now you just go right into it. But this is, I mean, PLL, I felt like I did like little classes and then like a season on our show. You're in college. You know what I mean? Now you're like in college.
Yeah.
I've got some more to go for sure. But I love the genre, and I think I specifically love it because it's the only genre, in my opinion, that if I sign on to do it, people are less concerned about what I look like, and more concerned about almost how stripped down you can look.
Yeah.
Like as a woman is really can be a lot on you when you're on a set, and like no guy's getting touches, but someone's running in to be like, your lips aren't shiny enough, it needs to be glossier.
Yeah.
And love so much about our show is that kids are going to be running around. You're about to see is the fact that we lean into all of those conversations, and to be, you know, almost 23 and to be able to have signed on to a show that not just protected my mind, but also my body, to keep it for myself and not for the world, and not to be so in terms of exploiting things, but in having conversations about things. You know, that's always been a worry of mine growing up in this business. So to be so protected in a genre that I love, on a show that I love, like, I think deserves applause, because I've yet to
Another
see
Lindsey clap.
Yeah,
I love it. Gosh, that's so funny. It is true. Even thinking about the makeup of the show, it's less like she needs lipstick. First of all, you all couldn't be more beautiful inside and out. It's like nothing. And second of all, it's like, we need more sweat. We need more dirt. We need more blood. That is fun. I hope that is really empowering, of like, spray her down with sweat.
I
She's
think,
been running.
you know, it really is like you're looking with these characters, not at them. I think that's what's really cool. And that makes, you know, characters who are very identifiable, and you can empathize with them, and therefore you can see yourself in these characters. So I think that's so special.
I love that. Does anybody have any questions? Should we find any fun questions and answer those, and then we'll wrap this baby up?
I saw Grace said Tabitha is endgame.
Tabitha is endgame.
No, not Tabitha. Tabitha. I'm sorry. I said
Tabitha. Do we have any questions for horror fans, for Bailee, for Chandler, for the show? And if not, that's okay. We sort of asked a lot. I've never been to Greece. Have you guys?
Chandler?
Sorry?
What was your favorite episode of the season?
Great question.
That's a great one.
Should we do like...
That's a hard question.
We all have favorites next week, but we can't... So should we do favorites for what we've seen, like 1 through 7 right now?
Yes.
I like that.
Hard to answer.
I'm just going to jump in and say episode 4 and 5, I kind of, you know, tie them together, because I think for Tabby's arc specifically, they work together. But I loved 5 because obviously, like, that epic royal takedown of toxic masculinity was like my favorite thing to do, and was so cathartic for me as a person and as an artist. It was awesome.
I agree.
That's a great one. Bailee, is that yours too, the Halloween episode? Hard to beat in a horror show.
I love the Halloween episode because I feel like that was everybody's not that they hadn't had like a WTF moment throughout like the first 3 episodes, because there are many of those, but I feel like 4 and 5 made everyone sit back and go like, oh, this show is no joke. Like they want to dive right in. So
Yeah.
I love it. We'll say like 6 and 7, I would say, 7 for me personally, I loved, because I felt like it was, Imogen is constantly trying to pretend like everything's okay. And I think, what you guys have done so well with dealing with these topics is we're very delicate about it. Nothing seems to be show. It's all been very thoughtful, to the best of our ability that we can. But for me, like that one scene with Sydney when she like is like, I don't know if I can be a mom right now. Like I'm 16 years old, and what does that mean for me? I think in this day and age, especially with what our generation is fighting for and looking at, I think that was just that was a scene that as an actor I would say meant a lot to get to do, because it mattered. It was an important conversation for all of us to have.
I'm so glad. Yeah, that is a great conversation. And to have a character like Sydney, played by Sharon Leal, the incomparable Sharon Leal, who really is a mother to Imogen right now. Yeah. And to have an adult, I think, give you the empower you to make a choice for yourself, I think is really important. That's perfectly said. And gosh, this is so hard because I think they're all our babies. But I do, of the 7 that have aired, there's a special place in my heart for 6. There's a special place in my heart. I think I just, every one of our amazing PLLs, you two and Zaria and Malia and Maya, I really feel like the stories ramp up at that point. And I know it's like, Mouse, what you doing, girl? Like everything is like, everything is ramping up. Everyone's story is so full and gearing into the last 3. And I will say, I know this is such a tease for everyone, the finale is one of my favorite episodes. The season finale is one of my favorite episodes. And it's just such a it's epic. I mean, I don't think this is a spoiler because I think this is out there. I think people have figured this out, but the title of the episode is The Final Girls. And that I'm very excited for everyone to see the finale. And I guess we should wrap things up. But this was so fun. It's so fun to see you and to talk to you, and it's so fun. These episodes are coming out and people are seeing them. You've all worked so hard. It's been a long journey to get here, but I can't wait for everyone to see the last 3 episodes of the season this coming Thursday on HBO Max. I'm so excited.
I'm so emo about it. Like I really called Chandler and I was like, it's really crazy, but it's so what I'm excited about is it's been so fun to see people who joined us right in the beginning, who have stayed by our sides, like you know, on social, but it's also so fun to see people who are now having a minute to go check out the show and who are now like binging to try to meet up on the Thursday deadline. And so on behalf of all of us, I mean, we're so grateful. We made this show out of like love and joy and
blood and sweat.
Yeah, blood, sweat.
Blood, sweat, tears, all of the above.
But it does. I mean, I like I said, I'm a fan of this show. I'm a fan of every single person on it. And I've been doing this for a hot minute, which is awesome. But this show is one of the biggest chapters of my life, and that has so much to do with everyone on it. So let's celebrate it next Thursday together, and then hopefully we can celebrate so many more things afterwards. But we love you guys, and we're so grateful. So rewatch it. We want to see their theories. You guys should go.
Yeah. I love the theories. We do.
You'll have to rewatch.
Yeah.
And so you can prepare for Thursday. 3 new episodes. Get ready. It's gonna be a wild ride.
That's right. Only on HBO Max.
Only on HBO Max.
For sure. Well, thank you guys for chatting with us, and thank you everybody for watching and for your questions and your excitement for the show. And we're so excited to bring you these next 3. We can't wait to hear what you think.
Can we give 3 claps to Chris Miller, who said, "I'm rewatching it a 5th time"? Can we?
Yes, Chris Miller.
This is Chris Miller. This is for you.
This is for you.
It's all for you, Chris.
All right. Guys.
Thanks so much.
Bye. Bye. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye.